What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Brain coming back at you guys with another video, and today we're coming at you with a video talking about a couple things to know before building your computer. I'm going to be giving you guys 10 things to know before building your computer. I just built my computer a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, and I just learned a couple things from that, so I thought I should tell you guys before you guys build your computer. And I know with Christmas here now, you guys are going to be getting a whole bunch of new parts and trying to build your computers. So here's a couple things to know before doing that. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to be talking about here is to plug in your Wi-Fi antenna. I made this mistake while building my computer. I did not actually plug this in. That's the only thing I actually did not plug in, and I'm very surprised with that. But there is a little cord that you have to plug into your Wi-Fi chip that I'll show right now, and there's a little cord that you have to plug in there, and make sure that you plug that in and have the Wi-Fi antenna plugged in and screwed in somewhere, because if not, then your Wi-Fi is not going to work and your computer will not read Wi-Fi, so you can't turn your computer on. And for me, I had to reset my PIN, and I cannot do that without Wi-Fi. And guess what? I didn't plug that antenna in, and I paid somebody $50 to rearrange my cables and fix my Wi-Fi when there was nothing wrong with the Wi-Fi. It was just I didn't plug the antenna cable or the antenna cord on. Second thing, it's a lot more than you think. And do not take that as don't go build a computer. I'm just saying you are playing with computer parts that are worth $100, $200, and this is going to take a lot of delicacy, a lot of cleaning, a lot of things while building a computer, and it's a little overwhelming. And yes, it does get overwhelming while you're building it a little bit, but just know that it is going to be a lot, and just to know that there's a lot to building a computer, but just take your time. Make sure that you're just doing everything with the best amount of delicacy that you can, because you do not want to break any of your parts. But just know that it's going to take a while. You're going to take a couple hours to do it. You might get frustrated. You might do a couple things wrong, but just know that, take everything really lightly. Maybe step away for a second and, take a deep breath, because it's going to take a while, and that's just something that's just going to happen. Number 3, things take practice. You're not going to build your first computer and put all your computer parts in there first try and it's going to be done. I could tell you, after me building my computer 2 weeks ago, like I said, that took a while. It actually took me 12 hours to build my computer, because I was doing a lot of things wrong, a lot of moving things out of the place that I didn't need to, just a whole bunch of learning, really. Take it as a learning experience. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna, do a little bit of things wrong. Try not to break anything. I didn't break anything, luckily, but try not to break anything. But know that it's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of practice doing this. So building your first computer is just a learning experience, trying not to break anything. Like I was saying, a learning experience for sure, though, because a lot of these things, like you've never done before, especially when it's your first time building a computer, even second, third, fourth, fifth time, you're gonna make mistakes. You're always gonna make mistakes, and that's okay to do. Just know that with more practice, you're gonna get better at it. Thing number 4, make sure we're applying thermal paste. I know this should be a no-brainer for most people. This should be absolutely a no-brainer. But for the people that have never built a computer before and they're just looking inside a computer, they're not going to be like, oh, there's thermal paste under that CPU. No, nobody's or under the cooler, sorry. Under the cooler. Nobody's going to be like, oh, it's just there. No. When you're building it for the first time, make sure you buy some thermal paste. And when buying thermal paste, you can buy some for around $5, $6, and it comes with a little spreader so that you can put it on perfectly. If you guys do not have a spreader, though, you can always put it in on an X formation. It's better than a little dot. But the X formation is always the best for you to do, but make sure we're applying the thermal paste. Number 5. Number 5 is screwing in everything diagonally. This should also be a no-brainer, but if you have never screwed some things in, then it's not a no-brainer. You want to screw things in diagonally just so that it doesn't become too tight on one side and start pulling on the other side so that you cannot actually screw it in. So that's why you screw in like the top right, then go diagonally from that, and then go just to the top one, and then go diagonal from that, and always just go diagonal. It is the best way to screw in things, just so that one side isn't too tight and the other sides aren't tight enough. Number 6, do not touch the GPU, CPU, or motherboard, the backside of it. Anything with a chip on the backside, or chipsets or pins, you're not gonna wanna touch the pins or the chips or anything like that. You're not gonna wanna touch those. Why? Because if one of those little things break off, you're gonna have to buy a whole new thing just because one of those little chips broke off. Now, sometimes in a CPU, yes, one little chip breaks off and the CPU will still work because, you know, there's plenty of pins on the CPU, but there's also cases where you can mess up one chip and the whole thing is over. So you do not want to lose, you know, lose that time in having to go reorder a new one, or if you had a warranty, sending it back. Oh, that's another 3 days. Now you can't play the computer for 3, 4, 5 days. This actually happened to me. I couldn't play the game for a couple days because I said I had the Wi-Fi issue, which was me not plugging the antenna in. But yeah, I couldn't play it for a couple of days, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. So make sure that you guys aren't touching the backside of anything with anything with chips or pins on it. You just don't want to touch those pins directly to damage anything. Number 7, make sure you are working on a mat in an open area. I, when doing this, worked on an area that was maybe double this, okay? And I think we can clearly tell that that was not big enough. Make sure you have an open area where you have a whole bunch of room to put all your parts your old parts, all your new parts, everything that you're doing. If you're doing that, if you're just building a new computer, you know, just all your new parts. But with me, I was putting my old parts in and new parts, and I needed a big space. Also, making sure that you have a mat down would be really nice, and make sure that creates less static, and then your parts will not, you know, create static in them, so that when you plug them in, it does not have an electrical charge on them already. But just saying, make sure you have a big open area. Do not underestimate how big of an area you need. You need a big area so that you can have room for everything, keep everything organized, so that you're not getting everything messed up. So then when you want to go clean up and play your computer, you can go do that instead of, you know, having to wait till the next day because you have to clean up for 5 hours. Let's get to the next thing. Now we're gonna go to number 8 and 9. I put them together because they're basically the same thing, but I wrote them down as separate things, but we're just gonna put them together. It is, make sure you have the right parts and make sure they are compatible. Why I put those in 2 separate categories is making sure they're compatible. If you have an Intel motherboard, don't buy a Ryzen CPU. You know, like, that's just a no-brainer. Most of the things you can put on each other, like RAM, the power supplies, the GPUs most of the time, the drives, most of that stuff. But your motherboard, and depending on what motherboard you have, like, for instance, my old motherboard only had 2 RAM slots. Now, it would be dumb for me to buy 4 16 gigabytes of RAM because I cannot do that. It would have been smarter for me to just buy 2 32s. Now, with this motherboard, I can buy just another set of 16 and have 64 because there's 4. So just making sure that you have everything right and compatible. Now, with the right section of that, what I'm saying here is, don't buy some GPU that's like a 3090 and you have a Ryzen 3. Like, that's just not smart. Your GPUs, you're going to be bottlenecking it, or whatever it is. I don't know exactly what it's called. I'm not too good with all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's called bottlenecking. You don't want to do that. You don't want to run a great GPU with a horrible CPU. You might as well just spread it out evenly throughout the computer so that it works good all as one, not just in one area. It's not smart to do that. So now let's get to the next and final thing I have to say. The final, number 10, is have fun and just learn from it. it's like I said before, it's all a learning experience. You're gonna have fun, you're gonna mess up, there's gonna be a lot of things that you get mad and real mad about. But sit down, take a deep breath, and think about it like, dang, I'm building my computer. I know it's hard, I know it's pissing me off, but let me learn from this. What did I do wrong? What did I do right in this situation? And look at it like that. It's not always, you know, gonna be you can't always look at it so negatively. You gotta think about it positively and make sure that you're having fun while doing it. Always having fun. I always started to get pissed off while building my computer, and I realized that. And that's something I really wanted to tell you guys. Make sure that you have fun while doing it, because there's no reason to get mad while doing it. You want to have fun. You wanted to build the computer to have fun, so make sure that you stick with it. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, and if I did help you in any way with building your computer, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys have any new video ideas, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Also, dislike the video if you don't like it, because I understand. I want to know what you guys do like and what you guys don't like. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been your boy YeeBrain. Make sure to like the video. Oh my god, who says it's been your boy YeeBrain?